for our game balls here on GMFB. We highlight the best performers of the weekend. We each have our own style in the way that we do this. So who earned your game ball for Super Bowl 55, M-Rob?
Yeah, I'm going to stay right there, Todd Bowles. You just heard Andy Reid give all the kudos to Todd Bowles. He got us. Yes, he did. And he did it in a way as to where they physically beat up the Kansas City Chiefs. And he went against his style. His style is blitzing. His style is sending more than 5 rushers. That's always been in Todd Bowles' DNA. But he went against that. He rushed for him the majority of the time, played coverage, and just allowed his front four to go eat. And that's exactly what they did. They physically beat up the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm going to keep saying it all offseason because defense and running the football won another championship. I can't be more happy for that.
I'm happy for Todd Bowles. I'm also happy for this guy. I'm wearing the jersey. It's number 45.
Ow, ow!
There you go.
If it's not one of the top-selling jerseys in the NFL now, it should be. He's 22 years old, and in a world with Fred Warner and Bobby Wagner and so many of these other linebackers, 22 years old, I think he's the best linebacker in the sport. I think he's the best linebacker in the sport.
A lot of love goes to Darius Leonard.
Darius Leonard's a great player. Bobby Wagner still is excellent.
Yeah.
Fred Warner's fantastic. Devin White, who did not get picked to the Pro Bowl, is the best linebacker in the sport, and he did it in a playoff stretch that was capped off with 10 tackles and an interception last night that sealed the game. Devin White is an absolute beast. He was drafted 4th overall for a reason. And for all the Leonard Fournette came to the Patriots because of Tom Brady talk, Leonard Fournette said last night, Devin White gave him a call, his college teammate, and said, you got to get here. Not Patriots, the Buccaneers, you got to get here. Join me here. Devin White played a huge role also. So Devin White, 22 years old, the best linebacker in all of football. Put that on a poster somewhere. Woo! I'll stand behind it. I believe it, every single word.
My friend, there were some rumors about wanting the horse to be there.
Yeah.
Sarah Walsh was telling this. Did this happen? Do we know?
There's still plenty of time, Kay, but as of right now, there has not been a horse ride around Raymond James Stadium.
The parade?
As he promised.
Do we get a horse in the parade from Devin White?
I think that's doable.
I'm here for that at GMFB with your game balls. Okay, Rob Gronkowski. I gave him a lot of love a couple of weeks ago saying, don't forget about Gronk. He's had his big old paws in every playoff games, taking care of Heineke and the Washington team, taking care of everybody they have up to this point. Do not forget about him and what he means, and I got dragged for it for a couple of weeks. So victory lap for Gronk with 2 touchdowns, leading the Buccaneers last night in receiving. He has now caught passes in 5 touchdowns, and I talked to him earlier in the week, and here's what he told me about him and Tom Brady, a little foreshadowing. I know you're a math wizard, so let's leave it with this. Can you tell me what 87 times 12 is? I know it's a lot. Carry the one.
Oh, that is. I know what 87 plus 12 is. That's 90. That's 99 problems for the defense.
And that's exactly what he was.
That was so dope.
Yeah, he scored the first 2 touchdowns of the game in dramatic fashion, 6 catches, 67 yards, and that is Super Bowl ring number 4. Now, there's another bit that I saw, Kyle, where I asked him, are you the greatest tight end to be playing on the field? And he told me, because he didn't want to say yes, he said, let's let it be decided on the field this week, and you'll know who the greatest tight end is in playoff history, and I think he proved that he is that.
No doubt. Look, Gronk's a first ballot guy. When he unretires and he goes back, he's going to have an incredible Hall of Fame speech and a big old gold jacket, and I love it. I will take it from Jay-Z to James Hetfield, who my game ball guy worships. Jason Licht, the general manager of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This picture came in late last night as they are celebrating. What you have right there is the GOAT and Tom Brady. That's Jason Licht. Here's Light's deal. If you love football and all it's about and all the accoutrements, you will love this dude. He wears a Metallica shirt every single week to the games. He goes down on the sideline for the game, which is really unusual for general managers. He's kind of like indiscreet, sort of discreet rather. I knew I loved Light when he used to come on our show, and we commiserated over our mutual sweating.
Yes.
He's talked about talking parrots. He was on Hard Knocks, and they're seeing he and his other people in the front office are at a bar. And he finishes his beer, and the server walks by and he goes, "Excuse me, ma'am, I think there's a hole in mine." Like, that's my kind of guy. And it's just an unbelievable thing. Listen, you can talk about sweating and beers and Hard Knocks. This whole thing doesn't happen without him. And Peter talked about something they called Operation Shoeless Joe, in which they reference the Field of Dreams, and it's, if you build it, he will come. Ray Kinsella was talking about his father. In the Bucks case, they were talking about Tom Brady will come here if we give him Florida and the defense and Bruce Arians and Leftwich. He built this thing. I also think he eased his pain. And as we saw last night, the other incantation from out in the cornfield, go the distance. Yeah. They just won the Super Bowl. And guess what? Nothing else matters. You're the man, dude.
Love it.
It went from load. Now can they reload?
Maybe so.